out of the 15 people said both, but I don't get it. And frankly, it sounds way too good to be true. I'm like, I've heard that before, right? That was me saying that. So basically, I invited them all on a Zoom with John. John explained it, and all 10 of them said, "Oh my gosh, this is the most incredible thing I've ever seen." And they all got started. And since then, we followed that system, and it's just been incredible the last 7 months, the community we built. And I got to tell you, it's the simplest thing I've ever done. So without further ado, I want to go into a slideshow here, but I want to ask you a question while I'm pulling this up. Now, what if there was a card that you could pay all the normal things you pay, groceries, bills, your insurance, your car payment, gas, everything you could pay with a card, right? A bank card, and you could double your buying power. So if you spend $100 on dinner with the family, you have $100 you can spend again. Think about that. You're probably thinking, how, what, right? That seems impossible. Well, it's not impossible inside of our ecosystem. I'm going to get into that here. And then my next question for you is, what if you could make money like the banks do every time someone swipes a card? I know you're probably thinking again, what? That doesn't sound right, right? Well, let me show you how we're doing this. All right. So the company is called Transact Card. And Liz, I'm sharing my screen, right? I think I'm doing it. So we're a positive social impact approach to banking. So what's really significant to understand is who's behind the company. All right. We have a gentleman by the name of Peter Rancy. He's got 45 years in the banking arena. He's not a banker, but he's more of a connector. In the last handful of years, he's been doing his best to help avoid these smaller banks, community banks, minority banks in our country go out of business. So that's where we come in. These minority banks are struggling in our country. They're getting swallowed up by the bigger banks. 250 to 500 are closing down per year. And these are the banks that need to stay in business for the people in those minority areas. So Peter, I'm hooked up with a guy, another co-founder that's building out this e-commerce site. And this marriage happened in 2.5 years in the making. This company started to finally reach out to people back in March. And we just officially launched a month ago, right about a month ago today, we officially launched. The majority of this was through pre-launch. Now, what do we do? How do we help out these banks, and how do they help us out? Well, we open an FDIC insured checking account with one of these banks, and we get this Transact card. Now, it's just like any card. You can pay all these, bills with, like we spoke about, with any credit card or debit card. Now, the only difference is, like your credit cards, you might have really good credit cards, like an American Express Platinum, that's $695 annually, but you might get good points or good cash back from other cards. Well, this card, when you spend $1 on this card, you get one Z-Buck. Now, inside of our ecosystem, one Z-Buck is equivalent to $1. Give an example. Let's say you go to the grocery store, you get $70 in groceries, which would be like, a few things nowadays, right? And you get $70 in groceries, you get 70 Z-Bucks. Now we're building out this Z Club. Now call it an e-commerce site. Now everything's e-commerce these days, right? Amazon controls just about everything. They've disrupted so many things, right? But what if you could go to an e-commerce site and buy the things you normally buy inside of our ecosystem? Things like shoes, electric bikes, diapers, jewelry, paper towels, toilet paper, all the things you normally buy, right? But you could apply Z-Bucks to those purchases. And now these purchases are going to be the same price as you can find at Amazon or the malls or Target and things like that. Call it a pair of Nike shoes. They're $100. They're $100 on Amazon. They're $100 in the mall. You go on the Z Club, the exact same shoe, not last year's models, not overstock.com. It's the exact same SKU from the exact same shoe. That rhymed. And they're $100, but you could apply in this scenario 25 Z-Bucks that cost you nothing. All you did was pay your bills with a different card. And in this scenario, you could save 25%. Now, in some cases, you're going to be able to save up to 65% off the products you normally buy. Think about that. That's absolutely incredible. Now, how are we doing it? I'm going to tell you that in a minute. So what's the company also doing? The company's doing flash sales. And these are really neat. We had one just earlier. There was a notification that came across our free app that we get. And it said flash sale. And you go on there, and the company might buy 100 or 1,000 pairs of Ray-Ban sunglasses in this example here. And these sunglasses are $120. But because you went to dinner and you took your family out and you get 120 Z-Bucks, You can apply those 120 Z-Bucks to the cost of this flash sale, and all you pay for is shipping and handling. The shipping might be $6.99, but you get these Ray-Ban sunglasses for essentially free because you swiped a different card. Here's another example of some really happy people. People that got bags, speakers, VR headsets, merchandise, blankets, earbuds, water bottles, electric scooters. Why are they smiling? Because all they paid for was shipping and handling. Yes, I was very, very lucky. A lot of people are really upset at me, but I got a $1,200 electric bike this summer on a flash sale. Listen, I'm always online, so I guess I was just lucky. I don't know how many the company bought. I know a bunch of other people got them as well. All I paid for was shipping and handling. In addition to that, here's Michelle and John Lay. They got a flash sale, a free cruise, along with 100 other people. A couple months ago, the company did a flash sale where they bought 100 deluxe cabins on a cruise ship that just went to the Bahamas. Everything was paid for. It was 1,400 Z-Bucks. Now, John and Michelle Lay had 1,400 Z-Bucks because they just swiped this card, right? And they were getting Z-Bucks throughout the summer as well. In addition to that, and by the way, they're going to keep doing these things, right? Just for having this card, you can go on free cruises and free trips and this and that. Besides all the stuff you can get in the Z Club for 20 to 65% off. We also have a travel site, a Z Club Travel, and this alone here. Listen, this could be it. We could build a company based on this. There's a lot of companies in our industry and direct sales that are just travel sites, but the difference between them and us is they have to pay a monthly fee. Now here, we get the Transact card. We don't pay any monthly fee, a monthly fee for a Transact card. And we don't pay a monthly fee for this as well. All you do is you swipe this card, you get Z-Bucks, and you can buy down hotels, resort condos, and private homes 20 to 65% off. Incredible. There are a lot of people, when they find out about this, they'll just sign up for the card for this alone. In addition to that, it keeps getting better. We got this Easy Power Earn and Save card where 350 of the top retailers, you look at all these stores here, 350 of the top retailers, you can actually buy gift cards, and it's all virtual. You can send gift cards to people, and get this. I can send a gift card to my buddy Lance, right? And let's say I send him a $25 gift card to Olive Garden, right? And his wife, Solly goes, I don't like Olive Garden. I want to go to Panera instead, right? Well, they can go on the app and they can change it to Panera themselves. They can change it to whatever gift card they want because I bought the gift card for them. So I know you're probably already thinking, right? This card is going to be really expensive to get all these benefits. I mean, think about it. The American Express Platinum is $695 annually. Well, this card should be like $1,500 annually, right? To get the double your buying power, right? This card is only $25 for life right now. We have a promotion going on. Anyone that gets this card, signs up for the card before December 31st, never pays a $25 annual fee. One time. Now, what do you get? Well, you get 500 Z-Bucks per week until our banking platform comes on. I'm giving you some good news. I think our new banking platform is coming on. We're going to find out tomorrow, but I think it's going to come on in the next week or two. But if it doesn't come on in a week, you're going to get 500 Z-Bucks. In addition to that, get this. It keeps getting better. You're not going to double your buying power. You're going to triple your buying power. Anybody that gets the card is going to double your Z-Bucks on every single purchase entire year until December 2024. So instead of getting 70 Z-Bucks from buying $70 of groceries, you're going to get 140 Z-Bucks. In addition to that, if you're just a customer, you're going to get a free app. And eventually, in the next couple months, you're going to get a referral link, a QR code. You can refer others. You don't make any money, but you get 500 Z-Bucks from every person you tell about this incredible card as well. So we have three different pillars with the company. There's Transact card members and their referrals like we just spoke about. Listen, there's no card on planet Earth that does what this card does. We're going to change the world one swipe at a time with this card. We're going to help out millions and millions and millions of Americans and soon millions and millions and millions of people across the world. Because listen, people are hurting. People are hurting right now. Things are expensive, right? And if we can just say, hey, you know what? Don't do anything different. Don't buy different skincare. I'm not going to sell you anything. Don't buy different skincare. Don't buy different pills, potions, and lotions. Don't do any of that. Just change the card you buy those things you already love. Just change the card you buy them with. And you're going to double your buying power. This is the easiest thing you'll ever do. It's the simplest conversation, right? In addition to that, we have digital branch offices in their communities. We also have national influencers. I can't talk about this on this call. There's a reason why. But let me just say this. We have a bunch of different celebrities, entertainers, people that you all know, foundations you all know the name of. If I told you about these foundations that have partnered with us, you'd be like, oh my gosh, this is bigger than I thought it was. Yeah, it is. This is huge. When I heard about these things, I was like, oh my gosh. Now, why they partnered with us? Well, I'm going to tell you this, and you'll understand why. Because no one's doing this. This is the only company in the world that's doing this. So you all know that every time you swipe a credit card or a debit card at any location, that location you swipe that card at pays what we call interchange fees. They pay about 3% of every dollar you spend back to the bank that issued that card. So let's say you go to a Target and you have your Wells Fargo debit or credit card and you buy $100 worth of goods at Target. Well, Target keeps $97. $3 of your $100 goes to Wells Fargo. A lot of people don't know how much the banks make. The banks make a ton of money every time you swipe those cards. And, all the people swiping those cards daily, right? So what if there was actually a bank or banks that instead of keeping all of those fees, the big banks would never give us any, but these smaller banks that we're helping out, we're helping them stay in business while they're giving us something in return. So every time someone swipes this Transact card, they're going to keep roughly half, and they're going to give us a little bit more than half of those interchange fees. So now you're probably thinking, okay, this is a big deal, right? Now you're understanding probably why these national influencers and all their millions and millions of supporters that want to support these different causes and different foundations are going to get the card, right? It's going to be a no-brainer for them because, number one, they're going to double their buying power. But in addition to that, they know every time they swipe this card, the bank, not them, but the bank is going to give them a portion of every single swipe to that foundation, whatever foundation it is. Think about that. It's incredible, right? We have celebrities beating down our door. You also can take advantage of that. All right. So if you ever wanted to be an entrepreneur, if you've been an entrepreneur, if you wanted to try something like that, or maybe you're sick and tired of being sick and tired, maybe you need to bring some extra income into the house. Maybe you've been praying for something. I don't know. But you and I can have some of the same benefits as a bank. For the first time in history, ladies and gentlemen, you can become what we call a digital branch office for $495 plus $50 a month fee. I'm going to go into that in a second. In a $10% service fee, I'm going to get into that in a second as well. But you can become what we call a digital branch. Think of yourself kind of as a digital bank. We can't say we're banks, right? Because we're not. But we have the same benefits because every time someone swipes this card in your community, you make a portion of that swipe. Think about that, right? That's incredible. So what do you get? Well, you get full banking and marketplace platform access. You're also a customer. You're going to be swiping the card. You're going to get double Z-Bucks the entire year. You get all the marketing, technology, and training support. Listen, I've done a few businesses over my 27 years. And I got to tell you, this company has first-class marketing, first-class training. And listen, the training, there's not much training here. When it comes to building this community, it's not that hard, ladies and gentlemen. This is very simple. Okay. This is not, you don't have to learn about a product and their ingredients and that you check with a doctor. Everybody knows how to swipe a card. It's very simple. You just need to know how to approach people, right? And say the right things, right? And bring them onto a presentation like this and let everybody else do the work for you. It's very simple. All right. But we do have great training to train you between your ears, right? Train us as individuals. But you also, the best thing, you get to participate in the revenue plan. And I got to tell you, this revenue plan is second to none. And I know a lot of people say that in this industry, but I got to tell you, when you see this in the potential of this, there's calculators out there that some people have built on how if somebody swipes this much money and all these different factors, it's absolutely incredible. So you can get paid every time someone swipes this card. You go out and share this card with people, and those people you sign up, share it with other people, and they share it with other people. You can get paid every time they're swiping this card. And listen, no one's going to swipe any other card. They're going to keep swiping this card. They're not going to swipe any other card, because if you can swipe a card and get 100% cash back, essentially, to spend again, or 5% cash back to spend again, which one are you going to swipe? It's a no-brainer, of course, right? In addition to that, you can be just like other people on this Zoom here. You can go out there and you can spread the word, build a community like I talked about in the beginning, how I talked to 15 people. You can do the same thing. You can think about who is your sharpest people. Listen, you want to go to the most successful people you know, people that understand banking, people that understand interchange fees, CEOs, CFOs. Talk to those people because those people understand the power of the swipes. Now, you can go out there and share this incredible income opportunity with others. And it's very simple. You don't want to tell them about it, just get them on a Zoom and we do the work for you. And when you build a community and they share it with people you don't know and they build a community and your community starts to grow and it compounds across the country, and soon you might have hundreds and thousands and tens of thousands of branches and card users around the country and soon the world, and you're getting a little piece of all of those swipes through so many levels in their compensation plan. It's one of the neatest things I've ever seen. So one thing you want to do is if you want to become a digital branch office, you want to get to manager as soon as possible. And listen, it's not that hard. It really isn't. Put a little bit of work into it and follow the leader, if you will. Work with your supporter here and go out there and get 3 people, okay? 3 people exposed to this incredible opportunity and have them join as a DBO with you and you become a manager. Or you can go out and get 20 card members as well, and you can become a manager. Now, why do you want to become a manager? Well, we get paid a bunch of different ways, but one way we're going to get paid here very shortly is this community revenue bonus. And this is one of the neatest things I've ever seen. I've seen other companies where they had, community pools, and if you're the top 1% of the company, you get these big bonuses. Well, this I love because this is a reverse pool. So when you become a manager, if you do that within your first 30 days of getting started, when this community bonus starts to mature, you're going to make up to $500 per month as a manager. So you go out and get 3 people one time, or you can go out and get 20 customers one time. And when this thing matures, you're going to make up to $500 per month as a manager. You think that would help out some people? Absolutely. Now, if you don't become a manager in your first 30 days, you make up to $250 per month. I know you're probably looking forward to that senior manager bonus. How do you become a senior manager? Well, you help 3 people become managers. And then you make up to $1,500 a month. And there's other bonuses you can see go up from there pretty substantially. But really, it's about the new people, right? What would extra $500 a month in a bonus mean to people, right? And again, it's up to. It might be 3, 4, 5, 6 months before we get to up to, because, ladies and gentlemen, they're going to take money from different areas. In the company, these guys could keep all the money, but instead they're giving it to you and I collectively as a company. They're taking $150 from every single $495 sign up. They're putting it in this pool. They're taking $5 from every $25 customer. They're taking a lot of basis points and a lot of money from the swipes. They're taking 2.6% from every dollar that's spent in the Z Club, and they're putting it in this community bonus. Listen, when we sign up millions and millions of these foundation supporters, right, it's a lot of money going to be going to this pool. It's going to be a lot of money getting paid out. So with that being said, we have a promotion going on right now. We have our DBO holiday promotions. So you go out and you get started and you get customers. You go out and sign up a customer. You make a $2.50 bonus just for signing them up. And then eventually you're going to make money on those swipes eventually, right? Which is coming very shortly here. In addition to that, if you want to build a community, you're going to make 50 cents from every person that signs up someone in your community as well through 9 levels below you. In addition to that, we have a set service fee. Eventually, things are going to change a little bit. I don't want to talk about it here, but it's going to be changed for the better. But we don't want to overpromise stuff here. But there's going to be a 10% service fee, and now it's 10% of your commissions. Okay, and there's a reason. And a lot of you probably are thinking, well, why would we pay a service fee? Well, certain industries pay a service fee, right? Probably thinking about who we might be soon. Now, if you get started before December 31st, you pay only 1% of your commissions to the company. Okay, now that's going to start sometime next year as well. In addition to that, we have a marketing technology fee of $50 per month. It's going to start January or February. We don't know exactly when it's going to start. And listen, I got to tell you, that's peanuts. $50 to run a business, I don't care what business it is, $50 to run a business is nothing. So if you got to pay $50 a month, and I hate to be disrespectful, because if times are tight, go out and become a manager, and you're making up to $250 up to $500 a month. That $50 a month won't matter, right? Very simple. But if you don't have to pay it, why should you pay it, right? Well, become a manager by you getting 3 DBOs before the end of the year or 20 customers. You'll never, ever pay that $50 a month once they start charging that $50 a month. So go do a little bit of work, right? So I want to bring it all home, because I know you're probably like me. You're thinking, how the heck are they doing this? It sounds way too good to be true, right? That's what I thought. So let me bring it all together for you and tell you exactly how the company's doing it. Now, the Z-Bucks #1 don't cost the company anything. They're points, okay? It's not real. They're just points. So how are we giving away 20 to 60% off the retail price of products, right? How are we going to, compete with the big boys, right? Well, we're going to have the same products that eventually all the same products that people are buying, right? Now, you're going to be able to go in there and buy it on the price of the product because we have more than just a Z Club. We don't need to make much money in the Z Club. Think about that. If you went into the mall and you said, "Hey, I want to buy those sneakers for 10% above your cost," they'd be like, "Keep walking," right? Because they have to mark up the products at least 100% to pay their employees, to pay their rent, to keep the lights on. They have to do that. That's business, right? That's what Amazon does. They mark it up at least 100%, right? Include the shipping in there, right? Your prime shipping is included in that up to, 100% markup. But we're going to go in there. We're going to say, listen, here's the same price. Buy it down, 20 to 65% off. And we don't need to make much money. How are we going to do that? Because if you were just an e-commerce site, you couldn't survive. You couldn't pay your bills. Well, we do it because we have the relationship with the banks that no one's ever had this before. Because the banks are giving us 1.8% of every swipe. 0.5% of every dollar swiped is going to go to Transact Card. The other 1.3% of every dollar swiped is going to go to you and I as digital branch offices. That's incredible. All right? It's incredible. All right? It's unbelievable. There's so much more I could talk about. I can keep you guys on here for an hour and tell you more. I mean, so many exciting stuff's coming. It's bigger than you guys think it is. But I do want to just end with this. I want you to understand who's winning. Right? Because here we are building a company to change the world. It's important to understand what's going to happen, right? Who's going to win? Well, first and foremost, these community and minority banks are going to win because these are the banks that they're smaller, right? These bigger banks are not doing so hot for the smaller banks, right? They're trying to gobble them up, trying to monopolize everything, right? So the smaller banks are going to win. But in addition to that, the people in the minority areas are still walking to the banks. They're going to win as well because they can still go in and cash their check. These people don't have the means that you and I have maybe. So they still walk in and cash their check. They need the bank. So they win. As consumers, listen, we're all consuming stuff. That'll never change. As consumers, we're going to win like we've never won before. Because think about it. Times are tough. Interest rates, inflation. And we can go in there and we could say, just change the card you're paying stuff with, and you can save 20 to 60% off products you normally buy and double your buying power. Who isn't going to get the card? There's going to be a day, ladies and gentlemen, when people come up to you and I and say, "Hey, you got a green card?" And we're like, "What are you talking about? I'm an American citizen." They go, "No, man, the green card, the Transact card." There'll be a day that happens, all right? Trust me, it's going to happen. And you and I are seeing it first, right? We're seeing it before the masses see it. And that's, to circle back, is about timing, like we just talked about. So who else wins? You and I as entrepreneurs. Like never before in the history of entrepreneurship. And to quote the great Eric Allen, our leader, this is the holy grail of entrepreneurship. The holy grail. Because we're not selling anything. We're solving a problem. So get back to the person that invited you on here tonight. Get your questions answered. I'm sure you got questions. My suggestion to you, get back to the person that invited you on and say, "Hey, I don't want you to answer the questions. I want to talk to the person that brought you in, or a leader. Get a leader on there. I want to hear from a leader. Okay, get your questions answered. Get started with us. This is the biggest no-brainer. I hate that word, but it's the biggest no-brainer in entrepreneurship. So with that being said, look for some more calls coming up. We got some incredible leaders that are going to, always doing Zooms, and, we got some incredible marketing as well. So back to you, Liz.
Ladies and gentlemen, that is how it's done right there. The amazing Aaron Whittier. And we will be back here tomorrow. You're so fantastic. I absolutely enjoy listening to you. I could listen to you over and over and over again. And you are the most requested Zoom. I had people asking for last night, but I said, "Hey, we didn't get a clean recording. We'll get a clean one tonight. We missed sharing the screen, but you did fantastic tonight. You made up for it, my friend."
Thank you.
But we will be back here tomorrow at 3 p.m. Eastern, as well as 9 p.m. Eastern. Fatai will be up tomorrow at 3 p.m. And then Larry and I will be ham and egging tomorrow night. So we'll see you all tomorrow night.
Yes.
And again, thank you, Aaron, for a fantastic job as usual. Have a fantastic night, everyone. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Liz.
Beautifully done.
Recording stop.